Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Ellen and it's Monday. So you know what that means? Mini Monday Madness! And today is Memorial Day, and so we honor all those who have served. Yes, so I am doing a mini painting of a cute little red wagon with some geraniums and some flags. Now, if you're not from the United States and you don't want to have flags and red, white, and blue kind of stripes, it's so simple. You just take them out, you take out the flags, you change the pots to terracotta pots. I go over this whole tutorial step by step, even how to draw this. It's very simple. Just if you can draw a rectangle and some lines, and you can just take your brush and do some little bloopy bloop circles, you can do this tutorial. I also have a traceable for Patreon members, so you can download that. If you're not a Patreon member, it's a place people go support my channel. I have traceables that go on my YouTube. In the middle tier, I have traceables and exclusive tutorials on Thursdays. And the top tier, I have the same thing, except that I have a live stream once a month for me and an exclusive download that I don't, it's a great value. I don't even sell downloads. So you can check it out right up here. Boop. Yeah, so without further ado, let's get painting and honor those who have served. Thank you very much. Okay, everyone, I'll go over my supplies. I have a 3-inch square of Arch 100% cotton cold pressed paper. I'll be using Princeton 8 long round and number 8 round Velvet Touch series. Paper towels here, water jars up here, my paints in here, and that's pretty much it. Now, if you can use this tutorial, you can, when you draw it, you can, if you want to do ink and wash, you use Sharpie pen, draw it all in, and then wash it in with color, or don't do it that way, either or. Like I said, if you're a Patreon member, you can download the traceable. Let me just show you real quick how to draw something like this. Basically, you can go look online what a radio flyer wagon type of red wagon looks like, and you just think of like rectangles. So you got the line for the rectangle of the wagon on the top lip, but you want to curve down, right? And then you go to the bottom here. Then you add 2 circles, obviously for the wheels, another circle inside, and another round dot. Circle inside's white, and the dot would be like a blue or any color you want. And then there's the handle. And then just put pots. Like we've talked about this all the time, how to draw pots. So again, a rectangle, angle lined, put 2, 3, one sneaking behind, right? And then for a flag, you get your flag pole here, a little flag, curve down, follow that line, curve down halfway, and then you've got your center part with the stars. You can put as many flags in as you want. Just do the opposite thing you just did there. Right. And then the geraniums, really, I wouldn't really necessarily draw them. You just want to wiggles and some wiggle leaves here. Little sticks kind of sticking in there. Wiggle leaves. It's easier to paint them than just to draw them. They're kind of a nuisance to draw. And then your pots could have stripes, stars, big stars, little stars, polka dots, big polka dots, little polka dots. Voila. And you can even, if you want to get creative on the wagon, put like one of those, bunting kind of things here. I didn't do that, but you can get creative. Voila. Slow the video down to see me draw it. If you can't, if it's too fast for you. Okay, so then I've got my colors mixed up. I mixed 3 greens already. Basically, by taking yellow, cadmium yellow deep, mixing with peacock blue in the middle, 50-50, and then taking that, putting in more yellow in here. And here, I did the same thing, but I added Prussian blue to make a dark green. I'll be using my ultramarine blue, some Verdier blue, and I took my cadmium red light. It's a little more of an orange red, so I add a little bright rose to it. You can just, whatever reds work for you. And then really just kind of painting it in. Now, like I said, you could have done, sorry, I'm moving this around. I'm gonna zoom in like this real quick. You could just, like I said, use ink and wash, so you can draw it all in with the ink. Or, here I'm going and just painting it with the watercolor. Sometimes it's nice to have the ink and wash, and sometimes it's not. It depends on how you feel. You have alternatives, or you could do more heavy pencil line. I have a less pencil line here, like light. And you just fill it in. Fill in the red, all the red parts. Now, obviously, the geraniums will be red. And then, we're going to have to mix a darker red to fill in the shadows. So I'm just filling in this whole wagon in red, I'm using my Princeton 8 long round. I could have used the other one too, but it's nice to use this one with the point on it. Now that's pretty watery. I want to make this a little thicker. I'm going to go back in and add my cadmium red light. Clean up my brush. And then grab some of that rose oak I was saying. And there. It's a little thicker. So see, it's very loose and wet here. I don't necessarily want that. Now for the geraniums, right? I think I might paint the red first. And I'm just going to do these wiggle. See, I'm taking the brush. Still kind of wet, so I'm tapping it down. Just kind of wiggle blooms. See that? Well, wiggle. Obviously, go around your flag. And wiggle blooms. You see how I'm just taking my brush and kind of wiggling it, and kind of like wiggle blobs. And you can put some down here. We can kind of finagle with this as we go along. Now your pots, they could be red, but I don't think so because we already have the red here. And while this is still damp, if you wanted to add that darker, thicker color you just put on there, I just added. You see how it bleeds just by putting it on the edge? It's going to bleed right into the center. That's why this paper is great. Go back on that lip with that thicker red. All right. And I might make my geraniums a little more roundish. It's just really simple. You're just kind of wiggling. Yeah, like they look like little roundish kind of bluey blobs. Okay. Clean up your brush. Don't get too close with the green when it's still wet, because then it can turn into mud, because red and green mix brown. So I'm grabbing my lighter green to start, just playing around with adding where I'm going to put the leaves. And again, these geranium leaves are kind of darker, but I'm starting off with a light green. I do want a hint of the light green color in there, so I'll go over this. See, I'm just kind of wiggling the leaves. They're kind of roundish. Go look at geranium leaves. They're kind of round, kind of wiggle. They're not really a super formed leaf, kind of like just like the blooms actually. Although the blooms have little stems, and then you hit the top. But this is so tiny, this picture. Like, to do all that kind of minutia of detail, you'd make yourself nuts. See how I'm just kind of wiggling? You kind of get the feeling that it's geranium. You don't have to get so technical about it. Right, and I have the darker green. I can start to play with adding in the darker green. Now you could add, let me zoom in a little bit more, the tip of this brush. This is wet. You don't want to hit it too much. You could add the little stems. See how the geraniums have those stems connecting, so it looks more like a real geranium than just these little blobs. Just these teeny dark green stems connecting to those little blobs, going down into the leaves. Just like that. See, now it looks more like a geranium, and it's touching the green and it's bleeding, and that's perfect. And then you can add some dark green leaves. See, going back over that light green, I'm putting some darker ones in here, and I'm not doing anything specific. I'm just kind of wiggling the color in, going around some of the red. All right. At this point, because you're starting to get where you're touching everything, you want to let everything dry. I might just go and make some of these really dark. Just go right over that green. Keep some of the light, but I could fill it. No, you want to make it. You want to dry it so that you can start to paint the pots, the flag, and the rest of this. All right. So we're gonna let this sit and come back. Now that it's dry, you can go back with that red that you mixed up. That was a little bit thicker. Deeper color. You can put some under the lip here, right? Darker here. This just got pretty light, so this is when we add some like depth to it. Take some darker red. Just play around with adding some deeper color here. Maybe the lip should be a little bit darker too. So I'm doing it. I'm leaving a little of that light right here on the edge. I'm just taking it and putting some darker on top. Just a little bit, and then adding some on the side. And then I'll take my brush, clear it off with paint, grab some water only, and just kind of blend it in. There we go. Now, we're going to play with the blues. We'll go back to the geranium part. I like the Verdier blue because it's like a nice medium blue, like a cobalt kind of blue. And we can just put that in one of the pots. I might do like a deeper blue in the front. They could be terracotta, but we're playing with, you know, Memorial Day kind of colors and 4th of July kind of colors. Don't have to be red, white, and blue colors, but I'm doing it for that reason. So here's the lip. You can kind of barely see it. We'll add some detail with shadow, and you'll notice the lip more of the pot. And then I'll do ultramarine deep on this one. Just gonna fill it in. I think the blue is pretty. Fill in that lip. Now the last one, it could be anything you want it to be. Actually, I think I'm going to make this a little bit wider. And maybe I'll make that terracotta. Maybe I'd make it another color. I don't want to do red. You know, your eye is going to go like in this weird red blob. It could be flanking it again with the blue, or maybe keeping it white and adding a light blue. So I'll add a little of this. And if you don't like that, maybe you could have made all 3 terracotta or all 3 the same blue. So see how I'm just making it really light, just a shadow. It's more on the white side. Play around with it. So the flag itself, obviously red stripes, blue center. I would use the ultramarine deep for the blue. And just kind of fill this in. And you could just do like little white dots for the stars. The pole, we can make like a gold color, or you can make it brown. Just fill in that little section where the stars go. I haven't used the round. Maybe I won't use the round at all this whole time. Sorry guys. The brush. Let that dry before you start hitting the red next to it, because if you don't, it's going to be muddy. You can play around with the bottom half, but I would wait. So the wheel, you want like a black or dark gray color. I'm going to use neutral tint, which is almost like a deep dark gray, and almost really concentrated, hardly any. You can water it down a little bit, but I want to keep it really dark for the wheel. I just fill that in. Now the center of that wheel could be a color, could be red, could be blue, could be anything you want. Now I only have 3 pots here. You could add more pots. You can add taller pots, smaller pots. Like I said, the bunting, get creative. You know, guys, this is giving you ideas. Doesn't, you know, everyone likes to copy exactly. You don't have to do that. That's not the point. The point is to give you an idea. Okay, then I'm going to use this gray to kind of use for the handle. Right, it's going off the page. And then I think I'm going to use red in the center here. The blue is still a little wet. We can try and do some red stripes, see how it goes. Just stay not too close. And you want to follow that curvature of the flag. Okay. Stars and stripes. Now, if you're not a United States citizen and you don't like flags, don't put them in. And you don't have to do red, white, and blue colors. Then you can do terracotta with geranium. This is how you can make it if you're not from the States and you don't want to do something that has an American flag in it. So for the golden color, you just mix a cadmium yellow deep with some brown. I'll use Prussian blue. Excuse me, burnt umber. Prussian blue? No, I don't think so. See, burnt umber and yellow make a nice golden color. Oh, you can't see it because it's so hard to see every little thing. So yellow, cadmium yellow deep, and a little touch of burnt umber. You get that golden yellow. And then you would use that for the little rod. This little teeny painting. It's details, you know. Go back in, clean off your brush, and we'll play around with these blues. So now we're going to take ultramarine deep blue, tiny bit of water with it, right? This is we can do some stripes on the pot. And it's perfect because it goes right under that lip. Put a little darker color under here, with a little shadow of the leaves. But you get that little stripe. I had stars on this pot. I might still play with that. I'll take a little of that blue, make it a little bit darker. I'll take ultramarine blue, mix it with my Verdier blue, and put a little lip color here and darker here because the shadows of the leaves. And so maybe I'll take ultramarine blue, make little stars on the pot. You could do white ones, right? And then for this one, I'm going to just put a line under the lip, a line connecting here. Just barely can see it. A little bit darker blue under the lip for shadow and shadow here. And that one could just be like polka dots. Little ditzy polka dots. Something cute. I have to wait till this dries to put a polka dot in here. And then you're just putting a little bit darker blue under here for shadow, where the leaves are. See that? We're getting there. And hopefully the blue is dried. We're going to wait till, actually it's not dried. Do we put the little dots for the stars? And if this is, when this is, we're going to let this dry and we can go in and we can add some lining, not lining, but outline to the flag so they stand out better. Meanwhile, grab some, your cadmium red light or whatever red you have, maybe add a little blue to it to get a little bit darker. Put a little shadow line under here and over here. All right, so I'm gonna let this dry and come back again. One last pass. Okay, it's dry. You know what I didn't do is I wanted to do is put a little, I'm not gonna have the wagon on the a gray tar. I'm gonna put some grass. It's a lot prettier, it's a lot cuter. Just take your light green, just go over here. Because, you know, before it's just floating wagon. You don't want a wagon to float. It's got to have some grounding. So I'm just putting that light green in first. I can start adding in some deeper greens. Shadow under here. In the wagon. You can just take your brush and go up like this with little grasses. Flip, flip, flip. See? Flip, flip, flip. Flip, flip, flip. Get a little darker here. Get even darker color and grabbing my darker green. See? Much darker because it's a shadow under the wagon. And then on this side can be bright and sunny. Fixing my light green, it looked a little too yellowish. But you see how cute that is? Okay. So now you can take a pencil or your brush, kind of outline the flag with a little, I'm using the neutral tint color, just as, you know, doesn't look like this flag that's kind of floating. Just a little bit on the edge, just like that. You don't have to do this little technique. And then for your stars, you just grab some white gouache, just a teeny bit. You only need a teeny bit of it. It's hard to show you everything in the picture with the gouache. This has a great point. You just get the gouache a little wet. You're gonna need it. Or you can use a gel pen, a white gel pen, and you just can do little dots for the stars. See that? just little dots. And like you could have done white stars here with the gouache if you didn't want to do the blue. And here I'm going to go back and fix my little dots I couldn't do because it was wet. Just ideas. And that's it. And you can go tweak. You want to add more greenery. I'm going to go in here and add a little bit of more green in between some of these areas. Now that it's all dry, you can kind of fill it in. Right? Maybe it looked a little loose. I just got red paint everywhere. You can't see it in the picture, but I'll show you when I zoom out. I'm just going to add some more leaves out this way and up here. It's just that simple. Isn't that cute? Here's your little red wagon. I might go back in and add a little pass of a deeper red onto that lip again and over here. And then this part got a little messed up. I'll just fix that. But that's it. Yeah, see this red paint all over me. Get creative if you want to put some flowers in the ground. Might go back in and add again some deeper green. I'm just grabbing some more of my green here and getting some burnt umber in here and some Prussian blue. Once it's dried, kind of goofy. And you can add little stems, more stems, and you could even add some, like I said, little flowers down here, just for more interest. Maybe I would grab my yellow, cadmium yellow deep, right from the tube, and put some little yellow flowers here. Even down here, like they were like little buttercups or something, because you know you're in the grass and it's kind of like the weeds. Just adds a little something. Can add this bright yellow, kind of fixing that little flag. Maybe you can make it more distinctive with the yellow flowers. But this is it, guys. Super simple, super cute. You can get more detail if you blow it up and want to make a card out of it. You know, 4th of July. This is Memorial Day weekend. I want to honor all those who have served, including my son, who is a Marine. Very proud of him. So thank you guys so much for stopping by my channel. Let me know if you like something like this. And again, if you're not from the United States, you don't have to keep the red wagon because that's the classic red wagon. But change all the pots to terracotta. Don't put flags in, right? And there you go. It's a cute little painting, right? So have any questions in the comment section? Let me know if this is something you like for, you know, going forward. I like these little vignettes of Mini Monday. And try the ink and wash too. Don't be, you know, try it both ways. It could be kind of fun. And don't forget to hit the bell notification button to know my tutorials up, guys. And don't forget to subscribe. We have a lot of fun on Mini Mondays. Take care, guys, and I will speak to you soon.